Hello, Forge of Empire fans, and hello to my guildmates. So this is the last day of quantum incursions. This is actually my last harvest before time runs out. So I'm just going to collect and explain a few things about the game and how I got to this point. Now you see all these aqueducts, okay? And now I have 300,000 supplies and 300,000 coins, okay? Which means I can build 3 more aqueducts, but I'm not because I already have so many. So if you go to my army and you look, you see that I have 255% military boost, okay? And that's 50% is from my Forgotten Temple, 25% is from my tourney grounds, so that's 75%. The rest are from each of the aqueducts. Each one it gives me 10% blue and 10% red. So let's go ahead and count them. 1, 2, and 6, and 8, and 10, and 14. And here we have 17, and the last one is 18. So 180% plus 75% gives me 255%. Now, I no longer need any of these buildings, okay? And right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tailors and 1 goat farm. I already deleted 1 tailor to make room for all these aqueducts here. Now I do have 7 expansions. 3 of the expansions are by shards and 4 of the expansions are by goods. Okay, so I also deleted the 1 roof tile house and I believe 2 of my cottages because I have 3 villas, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And the remaining cottages is 1 here, 1 there, and another 1 here. Okay, so I have 3 remaining cottages, which means I deleted 2 and 1 roof tile house. Why did I do that? To make room for the aqueducts. The benefit of the aqueducts is that they only require 225 euphoria. Oops, that's not what I want. As you can see, now the aqueducts require 225, and they take up a 3-by-1 space, whereas the monument requires 75% euphoria, 75 euphoria, and takes up 1 tile. So 2 monuments and 2 victory pillars equal 1 aqueduct, except that they require 75 more euphoria than the aqueduct does. The cost in coins and supplies is the same. All right. So how did we get to this point? Well, we followed the guide by Flotte Carote. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I will post a link to his document that outlines the procedure in the comments field of this video. Basically, he sets up his settlement so that by Tuesday, if you start out on Thursday morning by the US server, and Thursday night for me. And I believe there are 10 harvests. So the first settlement, actually, let's go to his guide and see it. Okay, so, okay, where do I have his guide? Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't show up here. Okay, so there's a link in this particular video. Here we go. So here's how to get up to his guide. And why did it give me? Okay. All right. So he sets up a lot of, it's a spreadsheet file, by the way. Okay. And he gives you a lot of information. Okay. So his first, he tells you to buy 2 expansions, okay, with quantum shards. Now, I disagree because I ended up using 3. So where you see these amphitheaters at the top left, that's where he's got the 2 expansions that he purchased with shards. If you don't have the shards, then don't buy the expansions. There's a smaller version of his settlement that you can build without having the expansions to begin with, okay? But when you finish buying all the buildings that he tells you, this is the layout that he proposes, okay? So you have 3 amphitheaters, 8 butchers, 4 roof tile houses, okay? And 9 roads. And then the next harvest, he tells you to harvest a roof tile house and sell it immediately, and do it again for the second roof tile house. The reason being is he built 2 extra roof tile houses which exceeded his euphoria. So by having too many population and not enough euphoria to cover it, the productivity of his settlement at this point is down to 120%. As soon as you sell those 2 roof tile houses, after you collect it from them, you increase your euphoria to, you increase your productivity due to the amount of euphoria that you have to 150%. So then you can harvest the rest of your settlement. Okay? And the way he does it is you build another amphitheater. As soon as you build the 4th amphitheater, you now have enough euphoria to get your productivity to its maximum. So you harvest everything. Then you sell 3 butchers. You build a ballista. Excuse me, my phone is acting up. Okay, you sell 3 butchers. You build a ballista camp. When you build a ballista camp or a goods building, you have to wait an hour for it to cook, so it's ready. Okay, and you recruit the ballista, and then you recruit 6 ballistas in addition to the 4 that you have. So now you have 10 ballistas. You get 4 ballistas, but 8 of all the other units: archers, soldiers, legionnaires, and horses. Okay, and they're also known as artillery for ballistas, range for archers, light units for soldiers, heavy units for legionnaires, and fast units for horses. Now you sell the ballista and you build a tailor. Actually, you build 2 tailors. And then you build 2 more roof tile houses. And then you log in 1 hour. I think this login for the production of your Taylor might be out of the way it was set up in beta, but it isn't set up in our version of quantum incursions. And then he shows you how to set up. But I skipped a step. I skipped the step where you build the building, the harvest. So I apologize, okay? No, he's got the ballistas come first. Okay, so so the ballistas is actually on your third, on your third harvest, not your first. I apologize. Your first harvest, you sell one butcher to make room for a goods building. You build a cottage, and then you sell one amphitheater so you have room for the good building. You build a good building, and then you produce 12 goods to add to the 20 that you get when you initiate your settlement. So I apologize for being out of order in this video. But it's not a major deal because you follow the guide in his instructions. Now, so that's your first harvest, okay? And then you sell the goods building, you wait an hour, you produce, you have now 32 goods, and now you can build expansion with the goods. Now every time you build an expansion, the cost goes up. So the first is 30 goods, the second is 60, 90, then 130, and the fifth one is 180, which is too expensive, and you don't need to do that, and I'll show you why later. So the difference between me and Flotte Carote is I know I'm going to have 7 expansions, 3 with shards and 4 with goods, okay? So that's one of the differences. Another difference I flip his map, not upside down, but right to left or left to right. The reason being because of the corner on the top, what I will call the northeast corner. North of it, I have rocks which cannot give me room for an expansion. So I use that corner by flipping it to the northwest, and later on I build an expansion with goods to give me room for my triumphal arches. Okay, and let me switch over to my city and show it to you. My phone and is acting up, but this is Eno. They don't know how to program and account for memory leaks, so my game is always rebooting, as you can see. Okay, so I'm going back to my settlement. Notice the top corner here, it's actually the northwest corner. I have 4 triumphal arches. 2 originally from the first expansion that I bought with shards, and the top 2 triumphal arches are with goods that I purchased later on. Now, by doing that, it gives me room for 4 aqueducts right below it. These 2 aqueducts that you see here, I was able to place them only afterwards by selling one of the roof tile houses. In fact, everything below the first four aqueducts, the two aqueducts, the cottage next to it, then the triumphal arch and the two aqueducts next to it, and all these were occupied before by buildings like the Taylor or roof tile house or cottage, okay? So it's a little misleading because you already see the end product, okay? Anyway, it's important to follow the guide, and I tweaked it because because I have the extra expansion, the third one, from the beginning, I literally added two more roof tile houses and two roads. So literally, I don't sell just one roof tile house, I sell three of them. Now the guide says to sell two. I found out that if you build two extra ones, you get four extras. Because of the cost of building a roof tile house, it costs you 2,500 coins, okay? But by having four extra ones, two more than the guide says, their cost is 2,500, but even at the production lower rate of 100%, I make a profit. It's like 5,000, okay? So it's a small profit, but it's still enough of a profit that makes a difference, because I found out that I was always short of coins if I just followed the guide. And because I bought 3 expansions, I have the space. So I buy 2 extra roads and 2 extra roof tile house, and I literally set them up on the top row next to the amphitheaters that I have. Okay? And I do that the first 2 harvests. I have extra roof tile houses because I have the space for them. So that little bit of a profit, extra profit, is enough to cover some of my issues with being short on coins. So I know I've said a lot and maybe it's confusing. Please, if you're not sure and you're a guild mate of mine, send me a message and I will clarify and further explain it if you're not sure what I'm talking about. But anyway, so following the guide, he tells you all the harvests that you need to do. And let's go back to it. And as you can see, for some reason, my phone, I upgraded to the new Xiaomi high power in OS, and it's giving me these issues that I'm having. Okay. So once again, I'll go in here and click on this, and now I will expand this particular. All right. So you can see here in the guide, and now my phone really acting up, probably because I'm running out of memory. So he's got the first harvest, and he's got the corresponding mobs. Remember, where you see the black, those are 2 expansions that he does not yet build. He builds them later on, but I already built the 3rd one. So, and it's flipped, right to left, left to right, which means these 2 amphitheaters in my building, in my settlement, are on the right side, not on the left side. Now, between harvests, as you follow the instructions, he shows you a detail map of what the settlement should look like. So just remember, when you sell a building, before you build it, set up your settlement first. So you move it because you have the space. Don't just build and then try to fit it in, because then you don't have the space and you might have to sell the building that you just built and lose the value the coins that you paid for building that building. Okay. But here you have all the harvests, okay? And he labels them harvest 1, harvest 2, okay? Third harvest on Friday, fourth harvest on Saturday. Okay? So he goes from 8 butchers to here he's got three tailor houses and 2, 4, 6, 7 butchers. But he already has bought 2 triumphal arches, which are a 2x3 versus the amphitheater, which are a 4x4, which gave him the extra room. And he's got the third expansion that he's got through buying it with goods. Okay. He also moves the tiny house between harvests, so pay attention to that. Okay. So this is the next harvest. Okay, you sell the 4 butchers, you build a cottage, you build 4 tailors. Okay, and then the next one, which is important, here, harvest number 6 on Sunday at 9 o'clock. I think it's number 7 or number 8, I forget which one. Or actually it says here which one. Harvest number 6, sorry. You build your first and only goat farm, okay? And your first villa, okay? The villa gives you twice as many coins as the cottage. You end up having 3 villas at the end, 5 cottages and 1 roof tile house for a total of 9 population buildings. Population buildings give you the population so you can build the production buildings. But population require higher levels of euphoria, which is why you build the triumphal arch. Now the triumphal arch are expensive. You don't build it right away because if you use all your coins in production for a triumphal arch, you won't have enough to buy the other buildings that you need. So he gradually has you build up your settlement after each harvest so you have the coins and supplies gradually to get a fully finished settlement, according to him, I think by the 10th harvest. Yeah. The last harvest, number 8, okay, all right, okay, 8 harvests, not 10, okay, sorry about that. So now here again, this is his last layout. Now in the orange on the bottom right hand corner, he's got either a ballista or a goods building. Here's a tip. Make sure one of your goods building is iron, because iron is a 3x3. Whichever other goods building you build, you have a choice of 4. 2 of them are 4x4. Ebony and limestone are 4x4. Jewelry and cloth are 3x4 or 4x3. Okay? Cloth and ballista are the same shape. I don't advise for everyone to buy the cloth, then the guild will not have any jewelry. And we need a good selection of all. So I usually build the first building either ebony or limestone because I suspect most people will build iron and cloth because cloth is the same side of a ballista. Now why is that important? Here's why. Now that I'm at the last day, okay. You see, I have it as a floating window. Okay, let's keep that as a floating window. Now that I'm in the last day, I log in again to Quantum Incursions. And here's what I'm going to do. Look at the nodes, okay? We are in the 6th node. At this node, we need, once we finish it, we are 9 more donations of quantum actions before we finish it. We have to choose. I recommend to our quantum incursion leader to go here where we have the castle, because here we have a fight and not everybody in the guild is able to fight. But here on the other side we have a goods donations. We will never make it in time to hit the boss, so it doesn't matter about all the others. So we have a choice. Either we fight and then we fight again for the shield, or we donate goods and then we fight the castle. I recommend the path to take the goods so we can build. And by doing that recommendation, I'm going to go to my city. I'm going to delete most of my buildings because I don't need them anymore. I'm not going to do any more harvest. Time's going to run out. I keep my aqueducts, okay? And now what am I going to do? I'm going to build 2 goods buildings. And as I said, I've got ebony. Actually, they need to move the road. And the iron always fits right here, okay? So in 1 hour, I can produce either one. Look, to build them, it's not expensive. It's 5,000 coins and 2,500 supplies. And I got 300,000. So I will probably, once I know if these particular goods, which one of these I can donate, if either one of them, okay, hopefully it will be both, but okay, if it's just one. And if it's not, then I only get 1 point for each donation, but 1 is better than 0. And I have right now 300,000 coins and 300,000 supplies. I could build 21,000 is what you need for 20 goods. So I got 100, 200. I can have 280 goods combined. Okay. Now I don't know if the donation is requiring 3 goods or 4 goods at this stage. I just don't know. I don't remember if we ever had it. We were ever at this position. Okay. So that's why I say I can, at this stage, there are no more harvests because I ran out of time. If you can look here, my next harvest is in 9 hours. Quantum Incursions is ending, and now it's what, 3 o'clock in 4 hours. Okay, so that's it. I hope this video has been helpful as an overview. All that's left is for me to post it and add the link in the comments. Bye for now.